Hello everyone, how's it going? I am the Average Guy 1983. Welcome to part 5 of the JL Audio C7 system install for my 2019 Ford Flex SEL. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be making the holes on the original SEL D-pillar plastics. They go in the quarter panel or the D-pillar. And as you can see here, it's just a solid piece of plastic. So there's a circle here which is used for the limited model that comes with the Sony audio system, and it also has a 3.5-inch driver. And here's what it looks like from the back. And I am going to be cutting from the back area right here. I'm going to be cutting this off completely so I can be able to mount the speaker. It ain't going to be all perfectly circled cut because I've already did one of them and it didn't come out 100% great, but it's still going to be very usable. On this side here, on this part is where we're going to be mounting the tweeter. So right here where my finger is at. However, you do need to modify a small piece here. You have to cut some of it off. So what we're going to have to do here, or what I'm going to have to do here, let me see if I can just go ahead and zoom in real quick on that. We're going to have to cut from this point right here of where my finger's at, right? So maybe about 1/8 of an inch above this little line, about right there, all the way across till this little line right here that you see. Hopefully you can see that, because on my phone screen right now it looks really dim because I'm outside, so the sun is really bright out here. But from this line all the way up to about the edge of that right there, hopefully you guys can see that, but to the edge of that. So we're going to be cutting that, and once I cut that, I'll be able to mount the hole from the front side right here. From right here in the front, I'll be able to mount the hole. And what I'm going to use is hole saws. Now, I know this might be cheating because some people would prefer to have like custom fabrication with resin and body filler and fiberglass, etc. But I don't have the time to be doing all of that. And I've already did that on my 8 pillars, and it wasn't that easy to do, but it wasn't that hard to do either. It just took some kind of knowledge to be able to figure that out. But anyways, so this is it. This is the one that you're going to need for the 3.5-inch driver. So there's the part number 24325, and it's a bimetal hole saw by Ace Hardware. So if you go online to acehardware.com or ace.com, you should be able to type in that number in the search bar, and this one should pop up for you. So this is what it looks like. Very easy to use. It's locked into place, so it's nice, and it tells you right there 2 inches and 7/8 of an inch, or 73 millimeters, I believe is what it says on there. Made in USA, if you even care about it or not. So there's that, and that would be going here, and that's how we're going to make the hole to be able to mount the speaker in here. This one here, though it says it's for wood, it will work just fine for plastic. Here's the part number for this one: 2466878, and it's a hole saw, carbon hole saw, and it's 1 inch and 7/8 of an inch in diameter. So what I like about this one is that this one has the little drill bit there to drill down so it can lock into place. Now I really appreciate that. I wish that this one here would have also had the same thing, but it doesn't. So this one's a little harder to work with. On my other 8 pillar that I did, they came up pretty good. I did not do it 100% straight on the circle like I wanted to, but it still came out good anyways. So let's go ahead and get started. So another thing you're going to need to mount the speakers is number 6 screws. If you're going to use some screws, if you want to go my route to protect your system and use tamper-proof screws, go to fastener.com, and here is your part number, and it is a size number 6 by 1 inch long. It comes with a T10 driver, stainless steel, 18 by 8, and then it's a package of 25. There's the part number there if you need it. See how below the barcode you have the part number, and you also have it right here in the top. So you can get them on eBay, or you can go to fastener.com, which by the way, it's not sponsored, but you can go to fastener.com and get yourself your screws. I love buying these screws from them, so I have a ton of them. of number 6, number 8s. Number 8s work for the amps and the door speakers for the C7s and the C5s and C3s, C1s, whatever you want to call them. Afterwards, we're going to need either just a regular box cutter like this one here, or you can use an X-Acto knife instead, which is much more sharp. I'm trying to get it to focus, but it doesn't want to focus. Sorry about that. So you can use an X-Acto knife, and then a screwdriver or a drill, because you're going to need to use that that number 10 tamper-proof bit in order to be able to screw in the screws after you're done. So last thing will be 120 grit sandpaper. You'll need 120 grit sandpaper for this as well, so you can sand down the edges and smooth out the round circle so it won't be so rough looking. And the same thing on the tweeter, just put it in there and start moving it back and forth till you get all that stuff off of the plastic. So let's get started, man. Let me adjust my camera and we'll get rolling on this. Alright, and we're back. So I went ahead and I connected the hole saw to the power drill, and now we're going to start drilling in. You want to do it slow, okay? You don't want to do it too fast. You want to do it slow so that it can lock into place carefully, and you want to make sure that you put it as straight as possible. You don't want it to be too you don't want it not to be straight. So then we're going to start turning it. Hold down the plastic here and start turning it slowly but surely. See how it's giving me a little bit of a hard time? This is exactly what I was talking about. Okay, let me see if I can figure something out here. Let's try going against. Okay, that's not working quite well either. There we go. And start pushing down. There we go. We got it. And that's how that looks there. Hope you guys were able to see that. So once that is done, we can go ahead and start using the X-Acto knife to just simply trim down some of this stuff on the edges here. See that? Just like that. Real lightly, you don't want to go too heavy. You just want to trim down the excess plastic that's on the edges of the ring. Oh, I scratched it right there a little bit. Alright, see, there you go. Now that beats the crap out of having to do custom fiberglassing and making a mess out of everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up here real quick, this area here, and make sure that the speaker fits, and we'll come right back. Alrighty guys, hold on for me for a quick minute. Alrighty ladies and gentlemen, so we're back, and this is how it looks like right now. I know that the top part looks a little jacked up. I had to make it just slightly bigger just to be able to fit the speaker in, but it fits in good. So now I'm going to get started on the other side where I told you that I had to cut some plastic off. So let me go ahead and adjust the camera and we'll take care of that right now. Alrighty ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm going to be using a regular box cutter to cut this edge like I had mentioned earlier. So we're going to start off from right here at this part, right around there. I hope you guys can see that. So now we're going to go ahead and start cutting this back as careful as we can. Okay, I want to make sure I don't cut myself either, but you want to do it just like that. Okay, we got it there to that end there. Now let's turn it around this way. Hopefully you guys can still see it there. Okay, now we're going to cut the bottom end right here all the way to the edge of this little area right here. So hopefully you guys can see that. So here we go. Just like that. And now we're going to open this flap up like this. Start folding it back and forth, because that's what's going to help cut it. So now come down here, cut it down. That's good. It's not all that perfect, but it should fit good, because this tweeter right here has to fit under here, and this area has to mount here like this. So this top part should be right underneath this area. So now that we have that down, let's go ahead and grab the hole saw now, and we'll start cutting the second hole. Alrighty, sorry ladies and gentlemen, I already started pre-cutting and I forgot that I wasn't filming. So let's go ahead and continue on with this. You're just basically going to get your hole saw and you're going to cut it in the direction of the blade for this particular setup. So you want to do it slow, just like this. Until it fully cuts through. So, still taking a bit. We're going to try again. There we go. You see that? Hope you guys can see that. Yeah. All right, cool. So now we can use the this here, the X-Acto knife. There you go. So we can start cutting all this excess trim off. So we want this to look nice so that the tweeter can sit flat here as much as possible. Just like that. I'm also trying to be careful not to cut the plastic, or I mean scratch it, but I already kind of did right there in that little spot, but it's alright though. This is going to be in the back and nobody's really going to see it. All you're going to do is hear it. So that looks pretty darn good right there. So let me go ahead and do this side now, right here. Just like that. Cut that off. Do the same thing right here. Hopefully you can still see it. And then right here on the inside too. There we go. Perfect. I think that looks pretty darn good. Alright, now let's test fit the dummy tweeter cup. That looks great. Check that out. See that? And that's it. Now we gotta do is just get the real one, mount the hardware on, and then this will go right here. Oops. Again, this is also a dummy speaker ring, but then that will be there like that, something like that. with the JL name. That looks pretty tight, huh? All right, let me go ahead and wire these up, install them, and then I'll show you guys the ending results, and then we'll put them in the car. So let's get to that. Oh wait, I almost forgot to show you guys what it looks like from the back, so you guys can be aware. This is what it looks like. Just like that. And because it's in this little spot, it's not going to get in the way of anything, because all this space here is gapped with this little plastic pin. But okay, let me go ahead and install this, and then I'll show you guys the back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the ending results of that. That's how that looks like, and this will be perfectly mounted on the D pillar. And now I'll have a total of 12 C7 speakers, including the door speakers that will be going on next after this. And then these can be wired up right now. So here's what it looks like from the back. Just like that. So you see how it doesn't really get in the way of anything. Here's what the tweeter looks like. Already wired up. See that? Let me get you guys a side profile view or top view there. Trying to get it where the sun comes out. There you go. There you go. But that's it there. So let's go and put them in to the car. Let's handle this. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so now we're inside of the car. We're about to finish the installation process of this, and hopefully I can get it done in under 10 minutes. So what we want to do here first is we want to start by plugging in the tweeter wires first. So the tweeter wires have to travel from behind the seatbelt here from the back, just like that, so that it can remain out of the way. But you also have to plug them in on this connector here. See if I can plug it in there. It should work. Come on, get in there. A little bit of a tight squeeze in there. There you go. That's solid right there. Alrighty, next one. Hope you guys can see me there. Come on, you can do it. For some reason the ground wire doesn't want to go all the way in. Oh, there we go. Yay. Man, want to thank you guys for following me on this crazy freaking build so far, man. I know that some of the videos that I've been posting up have been kind of boring, and you know, I do apologize for that, but you know, this is all part of the process, man, you know. And I felt like it would be a good idea to, whether it's boring or not, to record it, so that if any other Flex owners want to do the same thing with their SEL models, you know, they know what their vehicles are capable of accepting with just a little bit of modification work. So let me go ahead, and what I'm doing right now is I'm adding engine bay Tessa tape into the back. And instead of, the reason why I chose engine bay Tessa tape instead of the fabric one, it's a little more sticky and it's a little more solid as well. So now that the wire is behind the seatbelt, this isn't going to interrupt anything on the seatbelt. So whenever anybody sits back here besides my little boy, I can get this installed. So now this wire can just be tucked in right under the cabin thingy here, the back here, and then this can go right over here. Okay, let me just, there we go. All right, almost done with this part. Run the seatbelt right through here, and then grab this again, this wire from the tweeter, run it all the way down. And now I can go ahead and start locking this back into place. So just like that. Just like that. Right there. Right there. And this one, okay. There we go. Bam, perfect. So now I have everything on here. Now I can go ahead and put on the screws, which are these 7mm ones. Just go in there. Hopefully I'm not taking too long, because I can't even tell how many minutes I'm in on this video. Let me double check here. Okay, we're looking okay. We're in about 4 minutes in. So let me go ahead and tighten this down, turn this brightness up a little bit. Oops, just a tiny bit down, right there. All right, so that's what it looks like so far. So let me go ahead and just bolt it in now. And again, you know, I apologize if some of this stuff is boring, but like I said earlier, you know, it's all part of the process of this system build. And I figured, you know, since I wanted to record everything, just about everything of the process of the flex, I'd be able to get the stuff in. And right now, as soon as I get done with this, I'll show you guys what my 8 pillars look like already installed, along with the output meters, which are installed, but they're not connected yet. Meaning they're wired up, they're just not set up or powered on yet. Because remember I told you guys in the last video that I had like a remote wire that needs to be plugged into the accessory line underneath the car. Well, that's what I'm waiting for right now to finish doing. So now I can go ahead and put this connector here back on, just like that. Drop this down over here like that. And bam. I don't know why this never connects properly, but I have these little trim thingies here in the bottom. I need to go into the little socket there, and then this can go in. Yeah, let me know if any of you guys ever have any trouble getting this little part in. It's like it never goes in all the way, and it's connected but it remains loose no matter what you do. Yeah, it's already, I could see it connected here, but it just won't fully connect to the thing. Well, that's about as good as it's gonna get there for this plastic piece. I'll figure out how to get that back on, but there it is. That's what that looks like. So let me show you guys what it looks like from the passenger seat on the second row. Alrighty, so if you're sitting on the passenger row right here, second row, this is what the 8 pillar looks like in the back. Oops, if I can get it to light up a bit more. See that? It closes just fine. It doesn't interrupt anything. There's no gaps anywhere. So all the sound coming from over there, not only will it be enough for the third row passengers, but it'll come all the way across this way to the second passengers in the front. So let me show you guys the 8 pillars now, and then we'll start closing things up here on this video. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I have officially disconnected my Rode microphone, and I'm using the Samsung Galaxy Note microphone. So if it sounds a little strange, I apologize. Let me show you guys the ending results. I want to try to get this done as soon as possible. Check that out. I think this came out really good for what I did, and without having to do any kind of serious modifications other than cutting plastic. I think this came out really good, and I think that I'm gonna have some good sound coming out of the system very soon. The last thing I have to do is going to be the door panels in the front and the rear to add the speakers, but I do have these weird little flimsy plastic bag type material against the door with some holes, and I would like to see if I can maybe fabricate some kind of brackets that can go there in its place with some rivets, and then we can or I can go ahead and install them, and then from there, you know, it should hopefully give me a more solid mid-bassy sound coming out of these doors. But I have to figure out if that's going to work or not. But I do have the material. However, let me show you guys my A-pillars. I think I showed them to you guys before in a previous video when I did the JL Audio Tweak 88 unboxing. But here we go, man. Already officially installed. This is what it looks like. Hope you guys can see it there, because all I see is glare on my end on the camera. But there you go. I think that looks awesome. Let me show you guys what it looks like from the middle passenger row here. This is how it looks like. Just like that. For the A-pillars on the Ford Flex. And then at the top, I did add some SMD meters. The first one on the left side will be controlling the distortion detection or whatever once it's programmed for the 4-inch signal on the doors in the front, specifically on the driver's side. The middle one will be monitoring the voltage, and the one on the left, or on the right, or right there with my fingers pointing, will be for the subwoofer. Now, if you want to know about the color of the paint, I used 3 coats of primer and then 6 coats of this paint here that I got at 66colors.com. So I got it to match the that panel right there, like on purpose. So I think it looks great. It's gonna definitely look nice once it's powered on. And yeah, so one of the reasons why I went with the LC7i is because like I wanted to have my front and rear, left and right balance and fader control. And the reason why is because I have TVs in the car for my kiddos. And I also have a Nintendo Switch. I have a, excuse the mess, but I have a Roku Ultra. You might be able to see there. There you go. I have a Roku Ultra right there. And inside of the cubby here. And then underneath here, I have all the HDMI source and everything inside of here. So you can kind of see inside how I have everything there. But I wanted to make sure that I was going to have full control of everything that I have here in the vehicle in order to be able to have a good audio system, but also that's fully functional with what I already have. But other than that, that's it for the video. Thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned with me and watching the videos all the way through. I know some of the stuff is boring, but like I said earlier, it's all part of the build, man. So this is just so you guys know how long it can take you to build something like this for your own vehicle, whether it's a Flex, an Expedition, an Explorer, whatever you're driving, Kia Telluride or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just know that when you're doing something like this, it's going to take you some time to finish it off, especially if you want to try to make it as good as you can. The convenience about being able to do your own system and do your own labor work is that you're saving money on labor work by having somebody else do it. And you can invest that labor work money into better gear to install into your car. And that is exactly what I did for my system and why I went with the C7s, though it took me some time to get the C7s, but I got them. So I'm happy with this so far. The last thing I have to do is going to be the doors. So when I do the doors, I'll try to get some detail on this for you guys as well for the front and rear doors, and then reconnect the LC7 underneath the seat and start programming everything, and then give you guys a sound test, and hopefully everything works out great. So other than that, thank you very much for tuning into my video, and I'll see you guys on video part 6. Have a good one. Bye.